Hello. I previously posted a small book unhaul. Now it's time for the big book unhaul. I have been combing through my shelves. I have over 300 books that I own that I have not read. And I'm trying to be honest with what I might reread, keep only the books that I really like, and if I know I'm not going to read it, I'm trying to get it out of the house. Most of these I'm going to offer them up to a friend, a couple friends, and then other than that, I'm planning on putting them in free little libraries. So I'm going to start with the adult books. I didn't even know I had The Notebook, Nicholas Sparks. It's the little copy, mass market. I read it. We'll leave it at that. I went through a phase when I thought I wanted to read Mary Higgins Clark. And so I bought them from the library bookshelf. They're $1 each. Actually, this one was only 50 cents because it's paperback. And I just never read them, and I don't think I'm going to. If I want to, I can always listen to them. I'm sure they're on audio somewhere. So Mary Higgins Clark, All Through the Night. I heard that song before. Two Little Girls in Blue. And Loves Music, Loves to Dance. They all sound amazing. I know she's an amazing author. Just don't think I'll physically read them. I have Carl, I have no idea how to say his name. Skinny Dip, this is an adult novel. Not going to read it. Last Adult, The 13th Tale. I did read this, and I did really like it. I've kept it because I love the cover. But that's not reason enough to keep the book. So, it is very pretty. A book about books. Sort of. I don't remember what it's about. Other than reclusive author gets interviewed. And I enjoyed the book. I don't need to keep it. Okay, now for books that I have not read. This is Lisa Bright and Dark by John Neufeld. Neufeld. It's a girl. She's 16. This is a young adult. She thinks she's going crazy. She thinks there's something wrong with her, but her family isn't listening to her. And that's all I know about it. It sounds really good. I know I'm not going to read it. I've had it for years and years. I'm not going to read it. Witherwood Reform School by Obert Sky. We have a couple books by Obert Sky in the house. I started this, I want to say, as part of an October read, and I just didn't get into it. I honestly didn't give it a fair shot, I don't think. I'm done. Not going to read it. Trying to be strict with what I keep and what I don't. And yeah, another Carl. I have this is the third one of his books that I'm unhauling. This is middle grade, but it sounded like, I don't know. I was confused with where it falls in a line of stories. It's fine. I'm not going to read it. This is young adult. It's Katie's New World, Kim Vogel Sawyer. Katie is Mennonite, and she's going to go to traditional high school. So it's a series. It's labeled as book 1. I don't know how many are in the series. We never even opened it. Okay, Black River Falls is young adult, dystopian, and it sounds perfect for what I would read. It is, in a town without a memory, there's one who can't forget. Jeff Hirsch. It just sounded really good. And the real only problem with this is that I was trying to read it in bed before going to sleep, And so I would lie down and I would sit there and I would read, and I would wake up hours later having read maybe one page when a book smashed against my face. So, and the light's still on. So I think a week later I was probably barely on page 10, and it sat on my nightstand for years, and I kept picking up other books, and then I eventually just stopped reading in bed because it just doesn't work for me. So it sounds really good. Not for me, not right now. These were my daughters. She's decided to get rid of them. They are part of the Wish, not really series. I don't know if they're like part of the same world or if it's just a brand, if it's branding. I think it's just branding. But I have to read you the little blurb that's on each cover. One girl, one boy, two dogs in puppy love. This means Pugs and Kisses. J.J. Howard. This is macarons at midnight. Sometimes family, friends, and boys are flavors that just don't mix. Suzanne Nelson. Sometimes friends, school, and boys can be a recipe for disaster. Cake Pop Crush. Suzanne Nelson. Sometimes boys, family, and the holidays can cause quite a stir. Hot Cocoa Hearts. Suzanne Nelson. And this one doesn't have a blurb. It's just Carolyn Mackler, Best Friend Next Door. And it's about friends that are very similar in taste, but have enough things that are different about them. Just adorable. I love those. These are 4 books that also were for my daughter. They were usually down here. Sealed with a Secret, Lisa Schroeder, is a girl who goes antiquing or in a thrift shop or something. She finds an antique, and it has a letter in there from somebody who lost their sister, I think, in World War II, and it has a spell. So it sounds like a little bit of magical realism. And the main character is Phoebe, and she wants to get closer to her sister. She and her sister are kind of on the outs right now. Best Friends Forever. This group of friends makes a pact, and one of the girls accidentally breaks it, and now she's on the outs. Okay, Sprinkles and Secrets by Lisa Schroeder. It's a friend two girls that are friends, and an education on how to choose between the opportunity of a lifetime and ruining your best friend's life. That sounds pretty good. This one intrigued me the most. The Heartbreak Messenger by Alexander Vance. It's actually from the boy's perspective, and these are all middle school, and he has created his own business where he will break up for you. So if you're in a relationship but you don't want to say, hey, we need to see other people, he'll do it for you for a price. And that sounded really good. So those are all the ones I haven't read. I'm running out of room here. These I have. I'm going to try and go quickly because there are quite a few of them. Ooh. All right. Children of Winter. I appreciate what the author was trying to do. The author is Burley Doherty. This was written quite a while ago. It's about the plague. It's written in 95. Originally published in 95. The plague in 1665. So it's about a group, it's a family, 3 kids and their parents are off to visit grandmother. It rains. Through circumstances, the kids are in a barn by themselves and to get out of the rain, and they play plague. What it is that Catherine, she's the oldest, she is channeling a Catherine from 1665, and she sort of becomes her. And the experiences, so it slips into 1665 when Catherine is they're in the barn, living in the barn with her siblings to try and keep themselves away from the plague. Again, I appreciate what the author did. I think I gave this about a 3, maybe a 2.75, something like that. It was okay. It's just hard to write a story about the plague. The Girl Who Could Fly. I wanted to read this forever, and I actually really enjoyed it. It's part of a trilogy, I believe, by Victoria Forrester. Piper is an ordinary, well, she's not ordinary. She lives an ordinary life in a very rural, she's got a ma and a pa, and she lives, they are farmers, I believe. And so they have a large farm, but since she was born, she could hover, and then she learns how to fly. She just jumps off of things and starts flying. Well, eventually word gets out, and a representative from a boarding school for kids with special abilities shows up, and it's really not what Piper thinks it's going to be. And it was really enjoyable. The only thing I didn't like about it was there was literal child torture in this. Shredderman by Wendelin Van Dreyen. I read this absolutely years and years and years ago. Really enjoyed it. It's a kid who has decided to make himself a superhero, but because of bullies, but when do you stop and become the bully yourself? And it's very cute. It's got artwork in there. Loved it. But I'm not going to reread it. Anna is Still Here by Ida Voss. 3 long years Anna hid from the Nazis. But now all her friends are gone. She's 3 years behind in school. And worst of all, her parents refuse to talk about what happened. Anna may be out in the world, but inside she's still hiding. I remember liking it. I just don't remember the story at all. And it's time to go. Find a new home. Ally Carter, All Fall Down, the Embassy Row novel. This is 3, I believe it's a trilogy. It might be more. What's her name? Grace. Grace grew up going to the embassy every summer with her family. Her grandfather is the ambassador, the American ambassador in this fictional country. And the problem is that years ago, Grace witnessed her mother being murdered. She has since been living with her father and her older brother, but now her brother is off to college, and her father has been called into active duty. So now Grace has to live at the embassy with her grandfather because she's 16. So this is young adult. It's kind of borderline, but it's young adult. What happens is as soon as Grace enters the embassy, she starts having, not flashbacks, but all the memories of her mom reoccur, and so does the memory of her murder. And she starts seeing the scarred man who she thinks murdered her mother. It's very good. I'm very interested in continuing with the series. I'll listen to it. Joey Pigza Swallowed a Key by Jack Gantos. Very cute. I read this is the first one. I don't know how many there are. I read the first and the second, and my daughter read the first 3. It's cute. This one is a National Book finalist. And yeah, it's just neither of us were interested in keeping it. It's time to go. I just read this. Get a Grip, Vivi Cohen by Sarah Caput. This one is nice because it's neurodivergent inclusive. Vivi is on the autism spectrum, and she has a wicked knuckleball. And so she wants to play baseball, not softball like girls are supposed to do, baseball, because that's where you can do a knuckleball. And it's kind of her trying to make her mother understand that she's capable of more than what her mother lets her do. This is all epistolary, so it's all in letters. It's Vivi, I think, is in 3rd grade, 3rd or 4th, and her assignment is to write to somebody famous, and she met a baseball player once, and he's the one that taught her how to do the knuckleball. So she writes him a letter, but she kind of just keeps writing him letters, and then he eventually answers back. I actually got this from a Free Little Library, so I'm going to make sure I put it back in a Free Little Library. I have 2 copies of The Secret Garden, because apparently I thought of the same thing twice. I actually have a really nice hardbound, gold sprayed edges copy of it. It's just when I wanted to reread it, I didn't want to read that one. So this one is going to a friend, and this one is going to Free Little Library. I just realized that there's also one other book that I haven't read. And this may not count to you as unhauling. The Last Summer of You and Me. I bought it because she's the author of The Sisterhood of Traveling Pants, and my daughter loved that book. So I offered this to my daughter. So it's not going to be mine anymore, but it'll still be in the house. I'm going to call that an unhauling because it's now her responsibility. Tell me what you think. On December 7th, I read A Boy at War, a novel of Pearl Harbor by Harry Mazer. It's actually a trilogy. A Boy No More and Heroes Don't Run, a novel of the Pacific War. So, super short. They're all just over 100 pages. Adam and his friends are on the water fishing when Pearl Harbor, when the Japanese attack the fleet in Pearl Harbor. And I did really like it because it is written where he's very pro-Japanese. His friends are Japanese, but kind of the people around him, you can get a touch of how there was anti-Japanese sentiment. I only read the first one. I learned that I'm just really not into war stories. So, those are going to go find a home. I read this years ago, Secret Hero Society, DC Comics, Secret Hero Society, Study Hall of Justice by Derek Friedolfs. It is super cute. Not quite a graphic novel, practically. I guess it technically counts as a graphic novel. I liked it. It's a series. I never continued with it. Time for a new home. I read K.A. Applegate's Remnants. The Mayflower Project is book 1. It's a series. I have no idea how long the series is, but I do know that it's fairly long. The problem with this book is that it was written in 2001, and it takes place in the way distant future of 2011. But that being said, if you can let go of the year number, it's actually a really good story. Everybody has very distinct personalities. You really get a sense. It's in each chapter is in different points of view. There's multiple characters, and actually maybe they're not in different points of view. I remember it that way. Anyway, it is really good. I was going to read the second one. I did start it, but I had so many other books that I wanted to get to, and I knew I wasn't going to read the whole series. So I have one, which is Mayflower Project. Oh, it's the whole thing of like an asteroid is coming to hit the Earth and everybody's going to die. So Mayflower, they're going to try and save some people and send them off to another planet. Destination Unknown is book 2. Aftermath is not book 3, but I have no idea what number, I think. And then Breakdown and Nowhere Land. I have no idea what the order is, but hopefully somebody will find them and want to read them. They're good science fiction books. There's so many other books that I want to read more. Ingrain the Brave. This is an advanced reader's copy. Cornelia Funk. I bought this from the library bookshelf. It's in excellent condition. It's super cute. Let me find I remember enjoying it. I didn't love it. I kept it all these years because it's Cornelia Funk, and I have others of her books right there. Time to find a new home. Okay. Probably one of my least favorite books from the book fair, The Storyteller by Brandon Hobson. It's about a boy who has anxiety, Ziggy, and I really liked his depiction and his friends. I thought all of that was fine. What was the problem is he's Cherokee, so it's him. His mother disappeared when he was young, and he doesn't even remember her. But it's always bothered him, obviously. And so one night he goes off with some friends to explore the caves that his mother used to explore, and it's kind of in the desert. And he experiences some of the Cherokee stories, which is what I was reading the book for. I really wanted to get the stories, sort of their legends and myths and that. But he doesn't learn anything from the stories. And the way the stories were done were just a little bit off for me. And so, I mean, it's a super short book, but honestly, the middle third was just not interesting at all to me. So it starts off great, it finishes great. I just didn't like the middle of it. This is young adult Silver. I read this for Halloween, and if you know anything about me, you know I don't like scary. Silver, Chris Wooding. The final exam is survival. I love that. It's about 5 kids. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They are so one-dimensional. It's boarding school, which I love. High school, England, remote, all great things. But the characters were just so flat, and it was just painful and so over the top. New kid with a secret. The bully who's got a chip on his shoulder. The girl who is so popular and good at everything, and her best friend that's envious of it. And the nerd. I mean, it just... But you're not reading this for that. In a few short hours, none of this will matter. Without warning, a horrifying infection will spread across the school grounds, and a group of students with little in common will find themselves barricaded in a classroom fighting for their lives. Some will live, some will die, and then it'll get even worse. You want to read this for the way the infection manifests itself, and I'm going to leave it at that. This would be a really good B movie. And with the right money and a little work on the characters, this could be a really good movie. I don't even know how I got this. Like that one I bought from the middle school. I know it was on sale. It was pretty cheap. I would not have bought this one. I would not have taken this book if somebody had given it to me. So I don't know how I got it. And if you think that a probably 4th grade reading level book can't be scary, you haven't read Mary Downing Hahn. Ghost of Crutchfield Hall. I don't like scary. I just don't like scary. So if you're used to it, it's probably pretty tame for you. But Florence is orphaned, and she's been living in an orphanage. And she has been found by her great uncle and is now moving to Crutchfield Hall. The problem is Sophia is her cousin who died a year ago but hasn't left yet. This does have little touches of kind of Secret Garden in that there's a nephew who's sickly and he doesn't leave his room. It was okay. I thought it was good for what it was. It just isn't my thing. Nightmare at the Book Fair by Dan Gutman. If I were to rate this based on my enjoyment, it's not going to be that high, but I'm not the target audience. It is just really well written. Here's my best examples. Okay, first off, Trip Dinkelman is no fan of reading, but he gets coerced into helping the book fair people, the PTA people, set up the book fair. And this would never happen at my book fair. I'm telling you, we never borrowed other people's kids. We only used our own kids. But a bunch of boxes of books fall on top of him. He gets knocked unconscious. And when he wakes up, he is inside a book or multiple books. Each chapter is written in the style of a different genre. So in the mystery one, it is very Sam Spade, and they line up all the suspects at the end and go through. And then in the fantasy one is so well done that it takes them like 20 words to say something that could be said in 3 or 4, and it's just fun. I think this is a perfect book for like a 3rd or 4th grader, maybe a 5th grader. The main character's in 5th grade. It's a fun book. Okay, I just read this past month, President of the Whole Fifth Grade by Sherry Winston. I also have the sixth grade, President of the Whole Sixth Grade, Sherry Winston. I read the first one. I wasn't sure I was going to like it. I didn't really think I would. It had some issues, but again, those issues, I'm not the target audience. It is Brianna's going to run for class president. And it's all the stereotypical things that happen in a presidential run in grade school. So, president of the whole fifth grade, president of the whole sixth grade, they're going to find a new home, probably in a free little library. We'll have to wait and see. And that's it. That was enough, but that's it. Thank you for hanging out with me. I really appreciate it. I'll see you next time. Bye.